I'm gonna unmute us and start recording. Perfect. So we'll call the October 11th DDA meeting. Who's the vice chair? Oh, perfect.
Okay.
So you want me to go ahead and do?
Yeah, you
roll
can do
call?
roll.
Okay. Rocky?
Here.
Nikki Law?
Here.
Sarah Eshelbrunner? Here. Jacqueline? Here. Perfect. Cora Smith? Here. Naviera?
Here.
Gail Brown? Here. I thought this is Jody.
No.
Okay. Hi.
Okay, so then the approval of minutes, correct? So. There was a note about me in it and I wasn't at the last meeting.
Oh, I'll take it out.
That was, I remember seeing that.
I think it was the approval of the minutes.
Oh, wait, no, it might not have.
Yeah.
I might have read that wrong though too. Now that
I'll
I'm
check.
remembering.
Okay, just probably
Just
did.
double check on that.
Yeah.
That was my only note, but I think also now that I'm realizing it's my dad did it from me. Okay, I got from someone in the public comment. I remember rereading it twice and being confused, so.
Okay.
I seriously apologize for being a few minutes late. My husband's still in the hospital. He just called this morning about a discharge and it shouldn't happen because he can't walk. It's a long story. Anyway, my apologies.
You're good. You're good. You need a motion. Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect.
You made a motion?
Oh,
Oh,
second,
sorry.
that's okay. Do you have a second for the motion?
Second?
We're just on number 3.
Yep.
Did you go over public comment? Do we want to talk about?
I haven't gotten there yet.
That's the next one.
Yep, so we're there right now. Do you want to reiterate?
Yeah, so just to reiterate, for future meetings, we are gonna time public comment to 3 minutes. And it necessarily won't be a back and forth here forward. It'll be public comment. And then we'll move on with our meeting. Kind of a note for the board as well.
So we are.
Keep it streamlined.
So we are on public comment, and so this public comment is for anything that is not on the agenda. Anyone?
I'm just stopping to say hi and see if you have any needs or wants from us. All right.
We always have needs and wants.
That's fine. I gotta leave shortly to go to Toski, but we're good, Kyle. We're good.
Yeah.
Thanks for your work.
Okay,
on the parking program, you're.
Parking program's going really well. We implemented it at the end of August, right before we did away with downtown parking. But we have been writing tickets with that mechanism at Ford Park, and it's gonna be a lot better process next year.
Cool.
So
You guys.
it's all electronically downloaded into our computer compared to handwriting everything. It's much easier to track. You can pay the tickets online from California. So it's like gonna be a lot better. Next year might be, hopefully, I hate to say this was a rude awakening for people who got away with parking in the street all.
Good for them.
Good.
Thank you, Carl. I got 10 tickets. That's all.
Oh,
That's all. Thank you.
And any other public comment? Anything not on the agenda? I did, forget in the beginning, this is Jacqueline. She is our student representative for the school year. So
Welcome.
welcome, Jacqueline. And she is the head of the Honor Society, correct?
Yeah.
President. Excited to
Excellent.
have you.
thanks for joining us. On to downtown enhancement, we have trick or treating, which Rachel reminded me of.
Rachel almost forgot.
Yeah, but-
So,
I think the weather was so nice and we was thinking Halloween.
yeah, so I believe last year was the first year the DDA did this, but it was
Second year.
second year, okay. The trick or treating downtown following the children's parade, is that correct? I made just a quick flyer, so I had something for the meeting. We can doctor it up or do whatever we need to do. I think. And then I don't know what Margot did in the past, but the plan was to do an email to all the businesses downtown.
Yeah.
To get them involved.
Yes.
I'll be
That's what
done.
we did.
Okay.
What we did last year.
Go ahead.
So I was reading in something that one of the emails that went out about that, and it was saying just Main Street businesses.
Okay.
I mean,
Oh,
I don't-
we don't want kids, yeah.
It doesn't, yeah, I don't know what was done, if it was only Main Street, if it was Third Street too, it doesn't make a difference
I actually remember the
to me.
last year,
Did you get kids?
we haven't been participating because I think it was like a Sunday one year, or it was a Monday. I don't think we did it the first year, or I knew about it the first year I was there. And then I think one of the years it was the day we were closed.
Yes.
So we didn't we haven't been able to participate, so this will be their first year we could. And I don't know,
I mean, quite honestly.
I mean, I'm not gonna, I don't wanna go
It's not
spend
that-
$100 on candy.
No, I
or-
mean, quite honestly, Cora, like I was open last year and even just, I'm on Main Street, but being down where I am,
Yeah,
I got like 3. I think it
Okay.
was more like the Lyric down to the bookstore was
Okay.
mainly where the kids stayed isolated last
And it's
year.
all it's
What
after the
did you
parade,
think?
so the kids, the school age kids go back to school.
yeah,
It's just,
Little.
Yeah.
it's really the little kids who aren't in school, that are here, you know, they've come down in costume.
Yeah.
I mean, we were open and I did it, it was very.
Yeah, I
Okay.
saw that.
It was limited,
Don't
it was
utilize.
I mean, there weren't that many people, so if you're open, I mean, but you
Yeah,
don't
I'm
need to
looking
have
at it.
lunch.
okay. Cause like I'm used to like what Petoskey goes through and
No,
how
not.
how that works. and all
No,
that
it's
stuff.
not.
No.
Yeah. Not
what if
that.
if you wanted to participate, Cora, I know that we did, the pier wanted to participate, and I can't remember which business it was, but we just asked if we could just kind of tag along and be right there to, so if you want to participate.
Yeah.
And so I think,
I mean, we don't have enough staff to send anyone.
Yeah.
Out to go somewhere else currently, so we'll just be, I mean, we'll just be open, we'll be there, so what time?
So the parade is at 1, is that correct? Yep, so I mean, 1:05.
And we will be blocking off parking from Main Street on that day, so.
Awesome.
And I added that to the flyer too, at the bottom, but it's now it says following the school parade at 1:50 or something, you know what I mean, like that, so people know.
So how much candy did you go through last year?
So we give out like wiki sticks, I mean, I had like a handful of them. I didn't, you know, it really wasn't that many, and it was done pretty quickly because after they've kind of fooled around, they leave, so it's not like it's not the whole afternoon, it's just.
I was down there last year and I want to say like 15-20 minutes, maybe.
Yeah.
It wasn't.
Yeah, it wasn't a big deal.
Okay, so sometimes with events, you know that they're not gonna be like hugely attended. It's just the names out there you're offering, and it's an event that we have
It
for,
could be busier this year, you never know.
yeah.
And I mean, I think it's just cute, like it's a nice.
Are you gonna handle, or do you want us to handle reaching out to businesses?
I could reach out to businesses
Okay.
only because
You have a master.
there's like a mass,
Yeah.
list, so.
That's perfect, thank you.
Main Street Flowers?
So, the Main Street Flowers have to come out, which usually would have happened on the garden club cleanup day, so I apologize, I didn't think about the Main Street Flowers. But what I'm thinking, and I've spoken to Jacqueline about this, is in lieu of the National Honor Society, you know, there was kind of a miscommunication this year. If they would be willing to come and help one day, pull the flowers out, and then the DDA can still do the donation as was planned, so we can keep that relationship healthy and moving along.
Great idea. Okay.
So.
Yeah.
That,
Yeah, if we do it on the weekend, I know we can get a lot of people
Okay.
there.
that's fine, yeah, we'll come in
Whatever
on the weekend.
day would work.
Yeah,
best
done.
for you guys.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, the only thing with the weekend is we'll have to be fairly early in the morning before town gets busy with cleanup.
Yeah.
and Things like that, but yeah, so I will contact you with some dates that. we
Okay,
could
thank
work.
you.
Perfect. All right, and then C is Ice Fest Committee. I know-
Amy reached out to me last week, wanting the names of all of those. Did anybody hear from Amy?
Yeah, I'm not on the committee, so, yeah, she reached out, she was asking people who were on the committee.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine,
I thought you were on.
nope,
Yeah, no, she reached out and I got her, she was just asking for dates that people would be available for meetings, so I
Okay.
sent her a list of.
And Kathy, you got an email because you're on it?
Responded.
Becky, did she add you to that? Oh, perfect.
Responded as well.
Oh,
Yeah, so we're just waiting to hear back from Amy what day and time will best work.
Excellent.
I
Okay.
do think, regardless of whenever the meeting is, we should reach out to Rock on Ice just to confirm the
Yeah.
date. I can do that if I can send out an email to him really quick and just.
If you don't
because it's the
mind,
Second weekend,
You were in contact with them, but
yeah, so I can
Yours
send out
back.
that email today, and do we want to keep it obviously the second weekend in February like we always do? Okay,
is that president's?
no, no, because we
Not-
shouldn't fall on a President's Weekend again for like at least 5 more years, I think.
The weekend before.
Yeah, because we're doing a sledding and s'mores President's weekend. and
Yeah, so it would be,
and stay away from
it would be the 10th and the 11th this year.
Yep.
So I will send him out an email.
Okay. Moving on to old business, county tips. I think you know the most about. Or at
Yes.
least,
So Victor, is still in negotiations with the county. He sent them, him and Jim Raymer sent them paperwork, and he's just waiting for the county to take it to their board or make a decision on what they're going to do to settle, but it is along, it's in the right path, to being completed, so. Hopefully Victor's looking for an answer late this fall, hopefully.
if not, I think he'll probably just push along a little reminder. I think it's supposed to go to the November board meeting.
Yeah.
Yes, it's gonna go to the November meeting,
Yes.
and it helps because we also had something with parks with the county, like an easement for the wheelway, and that went to their meeting this week. So we were meeting them a lot in recent months, so it kind of helped move things along.
Merchants Walkway, I
So-
think we're still in a holding pattern.
Yeah, so I did speak to Vanessa Warren, and she had the survey done, the engineer survey. We knew that at the last meeting. She thinks she'll have a design done. It takes about 6 weeks, she says, to have something. She will bring it to us at 60% and 90%. Those are kind of the milestones for when things, really change and make it different. So she thought that was most appropriate. So she's comfortable with that. And then she sees a late winter bid going out and the project being completed fairly early in the spring. So, but the design will be brought to us at different steps.
Fantastic.
Hopefully, if we can get it.
Design be brought to the full board or just to the,
Full board, yeah. Fairly specific, she'll send it and then, I don't know if she'll come to the meeting specifically, but yeah, we'll have it for those meetings to go over.
Just to clarify, this is the design we approved already, but it's just with the engineering changes that need to be made.
Yep, it would be the concept design with any changes that need to be made due to.
Due to engineering
Yeah.
or other things that have been brought up as far as like,
Yeah,
I heard from the last meeting, like the parking walk sidewalk easement.
And the
all that
change
stuff.
in the.
Arch and things like that,
The
yeah.
arch is not there, will
Yeah.
not be in that
Yeah. I
design.
think there's some signage changes as well, so.
Okay.
And Victor is looking at the issues with the,
Pedestrian walkway.
yes,
the-
well, what Peter Pappas was, Peter?
Yeah.
With
Yep.
parking and.
Yeah.
With the parking.
And he's probably mostly correct, so we need to figure out what we're gonna do there. Third Street lights.
somebody had a question back there.
Oh, excuse me,
When does
When-
public comment happen for the agenda items?
We can do. The merchants walkway?
That public comments are.
Presenting one?
we'll do that after the financial update before we adjourn. Third Street lights. I'm gonna complete loss as to what to do. Tim Nat has reached out 3 times. I've reached out 2 times via email, 3 times during phone calls, nothing. So at this point, I don't know if there's anybody in town that's capable of looking at those and trying to figure out like
And have we completely tabled the changing the lights back there? Has that been completely? Are we keeping with the lights and the trees, or are we thinking about going forward with a possible change up with that?
We were going to spend the $2,400.
Yeah.
To get them repaired for summer. This past summer.
Yeah.
I don't know at what point do we call this due diligence? That we've tried. Gail's been back there. Yeah, go ahead, please.
There are two of the trees at Spring Street on both sides of Third that have one strand hanging on them.
Yeah.
One strand. At least if we could just disconnect.
Well,
that.
and I mean, quite honestly, we usually park, my staff and I usually park in the church parking lot.
Right.
And I'm usually not getting out of work until 9, usually. So I've been back in that area a lot at night. It's dark. I mean, it is definitely dark, especially down by the church. There's like no light. I understand. I know it's not a super popular opinion. I understand fixing the lights. I get that. But I also think that if we're gonna run into trouble like this, trying to repair them, putting money into them, I still would really like to think about doing something different. The lighting that's back there is not, it's not good anyway.
Right, I think our motion, the motion that we had in the May meeting, and maybe Cora can shed some light because.
Sorry about that. No,
Everything
you're good.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay, good. We've reached out like 6-7 times between him and I regarding the Third Street lighting.
Yeah, and I said that like I had a few people that I know that probably could make the repairs needed. I don't know if it's something that the city could do. I don't know if it's something the city would want to do. I don't know. I also don't know what's involved in the specific repairs. But those were the things that I had asked Jody about. When she kept saying that, 'cause I finally noticed the other, like now that it's dark and I'm in town when it's dark, to be able to notice that repairs hadn't been made. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know what our move is, I guess, on it.
Well, I think that's what-
Considering we did make a motion to make the repairs, but obviously they can't be done or aren't being done, so.
Well, my question was, how far do we go with what our due diligence as far as like really trying to get them done?
Well, I mean, are we gonna just like? I guess I don't know what our next move is here, because are we just gonna leave them in the disrepair they're in? Are we gonna leave them in the disrepair that they're in going into the actual holiday season when it's dark and everyone can actually really see that they're all janky looking?
No, during the holiday season, the DPW is gonna put lights up on Third Street.
So are we gonna take all the lights that are currently
Those
there
going down then, and then,
I think,
so what about this? What if this week I speak to Dan Huey, who's the head of the electrical
Yep.
department, and see what he is able to do? And then research other electrical companies that may be able to come in, kind of like who we were trying to reach out to, and then just kind of weigh what the options are, at least to get us through the holiday season, because we don't want them looking like they do for that. So I think the first step is to see what we can do in-house, as far as our electrical department, and then if maybe we can reach out to a third party like we were trying to.
And in that, clarifying with him too, like what the plan is. for
Right, yeah,
the
do we
holiday,
have to
because-
take, cause like, I'm just not an electrician, I don't know if
Right.
it has to take those old ones down to put the Christmas ones up, I don't know if he can even touch the lights that are on there. I just, I think it's best that we go to the source first and then just
And
see.
knowing what
we
their
need
plan
to do.
is for, for the holidays, if they're gonna put
Yeah.
them up, then like that also could
Yeah.
impact, because it's not that long from now in
Right.
terms of.
well, the plan moving forward, and we are getting into winter, is do we want the city to produce the hanging shepherd lights that are all around the city for us to put down in that area?
Yes, I mean, I just think it would provide more light. I think we would be able to, it would save money going forward because we wouldn't have these repairs and we wouldn't be in a point where it's in complete disrepair. But before I left to go to Florida, I was working until, like I said, 9 or 10 o'clock at night, and I walked out to where my car is, and it is pitch black. Like I couldn't see my car, and I was down by the church. By my salon. I mean, there's no light down by my
And there's not-
place anyway.
Yeah, because I was saying there's not even Christmas lights on that block
Well,
anyway. so I'm not sure.
and that's what I'm saying. I think that we could. I think that there is. We would be able to do a little bit more with. The permanent shepherd hook lighting than we're able to do with,
The weekly lights. is that what
Yeah.
you're saying? Okay.
that we would be able to do with the string lights that. And now we're running into getting somebody to even repair them. I would definitely, I don't know how we would go about it, but I would definitely. Would like to see something way more permanent and expandable than what we have right now.
So Cora, speaking from a Third Street business, is that something that would be acceptable to you? Do you believe?
I mean, I know it's not acceptable probably to the rest of Third Street, so I guess I don't know if I would want to speak on the behalf of Third Street for sure. Because I feel like there's gonna be a lot of backlash from a lot of people on Third Street. Why? Because they like the Christmas lights. They're very attached to them. That they're very, very, very attached to them. The reason I'm attached to them is just strictly because I think it makes more people come down our street that wouldn't normally, because it's lit up year round. It makes more people come down, especially in the winter months. It just looks different. It drags people down there where, I mean, we have, for me, I'm one of very few retails on Third Street. So, to bring people back there in by any means is really great for my business, especially in the off season when it's cold, when it's literally dark and we're still open. I don't necessarily feel comfortable speaking on behalf of all of Third Street.
Oh, no,
Oh, no.
I mean, I feel like I don't know, I think that I'd be interested to see if, if the city could do the repairs for the price that we originally talked about, we originally voted on paying for. If the city could do that, then I don't know. I don't know what the right answer is going forward on it.
I think it's hard to judge until we know what's possible, the electrical department, you
Yeah.
might have a totally different idea.
I
Than
know,
that,
If there's been things that have been brought up since then, about, I'm sure electrical department could shed some light on, but, about code and what is actually code with those lights, which is something that's very interesting to me. So, obviously we don't want it to be a danger, risk, or against code. Like, they might not want to work on it because it sounds like they.
That's what I'm saying, like the
They might
lights
not
on where may not touch
And,
on.
and also, which might be something we run into with other electrical department or companies, that they're not gonna wanna touch it either because of that same reason. So then it turns into a larger project.
Well, and that's where, I mean, I think we have a few problems. And like I said, being somebody like I get it. I'm back there. But I think we're facing a few different problems here. We're facing a problem that we need light back there, regardless, like it's not safe. We need light back there for the businesses. I know that there's some expanding businesses happening back there right now that need the light. So that has to happen, but also in the same hand, we're running into a problem where we can't, we've been trying to get this fixed since the spring and it's expensive. It's not getting fixed and it's not expanding to Third Street, all of Third Street. We're talking about just a couple blocks and we're not talking about going down further to make the lighted area, that much better, even going down further and where.
Well, I mean, I wonder if going down further, because literally like where you're talking from the church down is all residential. So I don't know what kind of.
Well,
permissions we'd have to
starting,
do.
but at the block over, we're not church. I mean, that's business and there's gonna be a business expansion back there anyway. And yeah, they're granted going past further with the church. Still, even with the church on that one side, it's not necessarily residential. So even if we went, there's nothing down at that block, just past where the Lyric is too. So, I mean, that whole area is pitch black.
But let's remember, ladies, we did take a board vote
Yeah,
about putting the $2,400
yeah,
in.
for sure.
And then as they get back into disrepair again, the lights come down. And we put up the weekly lights down there. So we'd have to go about this a whole different direction if we indeed wanted to do this.
So there's $2,400 available, so when I'm, that's what
Yeah.
I'm- so basically we're asking what can be done for $2,400, whether it be.
And maybe,
that has to
maybe
be
it's nothing.
seasonal, or it can be something where we add in something all year round to kind of help with security lighting, if you will.
Rachel,
Yeah.
can we get a site plan for where the lights are gonna go? And then we can mark it up on the plans, what we need to repair, what's existing. And that
Right
might give
now,
us a
right.
platform.
I think that there's a map of someone,
Yeah. there has to
flying
be
around
something
somewhere.
I'll look.
It's flying around somewhere, because I feel
Yeah.
like I've seen it.
I can't imagine there's not.
I could reach out to Tim. I know Tim might have had one originally at one point too.
I feel like right now, there's not, I don't think there's a tree that doesn't need repairing, quite honestly, when I drove down there last week.
There are some, so Tweeden looks the best.
Yeah,
It is, and I've been, you know, because I live there
yeah,
and I walk it all the time and I look at them to see what's happening. To find out, I talked to Jody the other day, have they even done anything yet? You know, it's been months. It isn't reflective of Harbor Springs. It looks like, I mean, the one tree, they just cut the power off. They left the power pole, cut the electrical to the lights. And that was it. And that's over by, closer to the, what is that, that gallery, you know, the other side of Tweeden. And it just is,
Who would have done that?
That was the
it
one-
done like that when
That
I,
was the one I think that was hit by the car or the truck or something.
I don't know, the tree's there, the
I
pole
from
is
my
there
understanding.
for, you know, their electrical conduit or whatever that is too. It just looks terrible. I mean, it just,
well, and I guess, Rachel, I guess the first step would be to contact the electrical department, and can you send a follow-up email to let us know what they said? And then we can, if we have to call a meeting to come to figure out what we have to do, so we can get it fixed. I mean, the holiday season is,
Yeah, I think it's something we need to, you're right, contact them about quick, so
Maybe
that's
we
on
could-
their list.
maybe we could do that now, and then if we have to call a special meeting to figure out what we need to do, if there's a bigger decision at play, then we can do that.
Well, remember, part of our discussion also was once we decided to take those down and have DPW put up the Christmas lights down Third Street, that those would stay. They wouldn't come down like Main Street does. But that was, we had agreed upon that, but there was some issues in the questions of how long will they last?
Well, that's the
Right, that was the
maintenance
same,
part- that's the
right, the
maintenance part
maintenance
of what we continue to get into.
Yeah, but I mean, these are just kind of like lights that you, I mean, I know
They're
they're,
not gonna last.
so,
I just did a quick Google search of up north tree lighting services, and all I could find were Dross Landscape and Vidosh. Both do tree lighting as part of their landscaping. However, it's probably the low on the ground lights, but we might want to reach out to them to see if they can help us or direct us maybe.
all right, so unfortunately, we'll just keep plugging along at that.
It's research.
Okay.
Won't take long.
Financial update?
You have a financial update. I'll let you go. I mean, nothing has changed. We did get our first, I believe, your first bill from OHM Advisors, and I don't believe that's reflected yet in here. So it should look fairly similar to,
Was that the $19,000 bill?
no, the whole contract's for 20 something. I think it's 26.
Good. So not much has
She goes
changed.
by dates. I think she bills it out monthly is what it looked like in the invoice.
Scroll up a little
I
bit.
sure
to the-
can.
Yeah. Well, look at the TIF capture. And then the special assessment comes in again before the end of the year.
And Nick said if there are any questions, don't hesitate to reach out at all.
So if you look, we already have $9,800 in legal fees, just based on the county tip, but, I mean, since we haven't spent a lot of money and we're just kind of in a holding pattern, I think we're sitting fairly good right
Yeah.
now, for certain. If anybody isn't aware, a certain amount of DDA money is moving over to the city to pay for some of Rachel's services as interim director. Any questions on the finances? Okay, so we have public comment.
I'm sorry, I forgot to put it, I don't know where it went.
That's fine. Public comment? Hi, Wendy.
So the design has been approved and any of our comments that were made in the last meeting have been used or not? How do we know?
Well, since we had approved the concept design,
I'm struggling to find the window that was open to me to make comments on it and have them be used because I can't find it. You approved that in June and Margot invited me to the meeting in May to see it. But the only thing that was shown was the overview. You didn't show the perspectives because I certainly would have commented on the prodigious use of ceramic tile, which is not at all an aesthetic in this area. I didn't actually see that until August, when it was provided to me at my request by Rachel.
We offer to donate the tile as an art piece, and if no one wants it, that's completely fine because it would be thousands of dollars of our free labor, so that's totally fine if there's a problem with it. We just thought it might be something cool because it's locally handmade in downtown Harbor Springs, but if no one wants it, we have other projects we could be working on at any given time. And we have not come up with a conceptual design for that at all, except it was just there as a placeholder.
Well, and I have a question with that. Are you meaning that? Because we had a slideshow presentation with,
I was here in May.
in May.
And the only slideshow that was in it was the overview, because I commented upon the merchants walkway signage. But you never showed the perspective of the end of it, where you have all of the tile, including 4 pillars that have no use.
That was the slide presentation when we voted, when we approved it, that was when we saw that.
When we
June.
saw that one.
I
In June.
got that, I was at the main meeting and it wasn't shown.
Yes, it was.
No, it
Whichever meeting we approved it.
It was June.
it was there because we made some conceptual changes based on comments.
Yeah.
And we changed everything because Margot and Jody and I had a meeting based on some of the comments that we had gotten at the previous meeting and reached out to the design firm. And we changed things and it was presented.
So you're altering the design that you've approved with or without our comments? I mean, we can't tell.
Wendy, I think you asked that same question last. in the
Yeah,
last
I'm
meeting.
still looking for the window when I could have given you my input, because I can't find it.
So typically, I can comment on that. Typically, we need a design for you to comment on. And this is when, if you disagree with something or you recommend something, then we mark it up and we discuss it. So the next design that's coming is 60%.
But I've already been told that it has been approved, and the next one that we see has been approved, and there's nothing I can do or say.
Has there been anything before 60% design that was approved?
Well, I mean,
The concept.
The
The
concept.
concept, but not.
So, yeah, all we
Nothing's
have
been
is the concept.
So the concept that we're objecting to is the prodigious amount of ceramic tile, when you yourself said you felt it should be a natural product, and that's what I'm saying, is I feel it should be a natural product, a stone fountain, which we have lots of in this area.
Yeah, and
So,
at 30%, literally all you have is elevations in the design and some concept. And at 50%, that's when you start to produce the contour materials and so on. So I would say right at the 60% is when we need to have that review and comment. And if anything needs to be changed with recommendations, that's when we do it. We don't want to wait till it's 90%.
Told at the last meeting that it's closed, we're done, it's been decided, that's not correct. We can
The
still.
conceptual design, when we.
But what is the conceptual design? Is it the tile? Is
Is
it the concrete ground?
I believe it's more like the idea for which way she needs to head with the design.
The conceptual design is a design before the engineering process, where they actually look at all of the grading. Where things are gonna change based on whether or not it's feasible, whether or not it's economical for us to do it. The entire design concept itself is not gonna change. So you are more than welcome to come back when we have 60% of that design work from OHM.
It doesn't mean that once we're at 60%, everything that's been approved from 0 to 60 is a go. No, it's just a concept idea. Now it's on paper for us to visualize. Right now, there's not much to visualize.
No, Rocky, I have to disagree with you a little bit.
I'm hearing two different things.
But
It's set in stone or it's not set in stone.
well, we have, I
It's
think-
not set in stone.
it's,
Thank you, ma'am. It's
You're welcome.
not set in stone declared by the mayor.
There you go.
It can change.
And this isn't a debate. This was public comment and it ended 3 minutes ago. So
Okay, moving on.
real quick,
Yeah,
sorry,
okay.
hold on. As much as I appreciate that part of it, I also want to say, as far as Cora goes, and putting something like her work, which is a downtown local business, to represent part of something new in Harbor Springs, first off, thank you, because I know how much work it is for a downtown business right now to give something of that huge of a caliber. So as far as that goes, I am very interested in seeing something like that in downtown Harbor Springs versus a stone. So I would love to see whatever conceptual design that you can come up with. And thank you for doing that. Now we can be done.
I absolutely agree with you, Nikki. And we've already run into this with many projects as far as Cup's giving of his time and.
Yes, I think we're
And
getting
Rocky.
a little stop-hearted about how much volunteer time and local business time that we're going forward to try to make something happen to beautify downtown Harbor Springs. So for all of the businesses that are taking their time and resources to be able to do that, that's huge.
Okay, so Wendy, do you have the design from, do you have the PowerPoint? Do you have all the slides in the picture that Rachel gave you?
The concept design.
The concept design.
Well, you just said that the survey was completed and I haven't seen the survey and Margie was asking for it. You said you did it for her.
Well,
I haven't.
She's asking for the survey that was done earlier in the year for property. She's looking for the property line survey. The survey that was just done this fall was purely for the project, for the engineer project. That wasn't a property line survey.
Elevation.
Yeah, elevation. We don't have a design for the survey that was just done. We just have the concept design.
You know, in December of 2021, Tim Knapp, as the president, said that nothing will happen on the Merchants Walkway without notifying all property owners. We get nothing. Nothing.
nothing's happened yet.
Nothing, there's nothing to report.
I have to ask for the survey results. I have to ask for the concept. I have to ask for everything. I
Yeah,
get sent
That's
nothing.
it.
But all of
That's it.
that's, but it's all at the, but we.
Or I can attend this meeting where I get 3 minutes. And by
That's
the way,
right.
I was at 3 minutes and 10 seconds when I was interrupted last time and told I was getting 4. Margie Smith had 12, Peter Pappas had 5. If you have these rules, they have to apply to everyone. And
10 now.
if I can only speak at a certain time in the meeting, so can everyone else on this side of the table.
And that's why we,
And
and
that's not what's happening.
That's why we ended the last meeting with Rachel reiterating the 3 minutes.
It
And
said 4. last
no, we
time.
did not.
And
It's
it
always
would be
3
nice
minutes.
if you had a timing device so I can see where I am with my time.
She has a timing device. We're
I
not,
can't
we don't,
see it.
I understand. We're not gonna put one up on the wall. You have. So it's not 4 minutes, it's 3 minutes. We reiterated again today. We reiterated it at the last meeting. Motion to adjourn.
Approved.
Any opposed?
No,
Thank you all.
thank you.